Hello everyone, it's Mike Levin, SEO, up here in Inwood, Manhattan, walking my dog, and it's the morning of December 13th, Saturday, 2014, and Hanukkah is coming up in a couple days, and yesterday was a Code with Mike Friday where I got some good stuff done. And I actually implemented the first quote real function under Pipulate, which was to get a count of the number of times any given URL was tweeted. So you can provide a list of URLs in a spreadsheet, hit a button, and get back how many times each URL was tweeted. Simple enough. And since I rolled back to Python 2.7 for Tiny Core Linux compatibility reasons, that's the highest version of Python available in their recent repository, and it's more important to me to be using Tiny Core Linux than it is Python 3, which shows you how much I think of Tiny Core Linux. As much as I want to get away from it, it keeps pulling me back in because it really takes the correct approach for a tiny Linux distro, much like an embedded system, and will give a better experience for exposure to Linux than most desktop versions these days, which are competing with Mac and Windows. Tiny Core Windows, Tiny Core Linux doesn't do that. It's takes a wholly unique approach that is going to be good for its users in learning how things work as we get into what's sometimes called the Internet of Things, where computers are built into anything. So anyway, for now, Python 2.7, and let's see. Oh yeah, so when I did the Twitter function, I was once again faced with how to just grab a URL. Oddly enough, as awesome as Python is, loading a page off of the web is one of the more obscure things, and I decided to use urllib2. There's also urllib and I think libhttp or something like that. There's 3 different libraries to choose from in Python 2.x. It gets unified back to just urllib in Python 3, but I'm not on Python 3, so it was urllib2. And then I had to go through, what's the method that you use to open a URL? Isn't it just .open? No. Oh, is it open URL? No, it's URL open, or one of those variations. So there's 2 levels of obscurity: the library name itself that you need to import, and then the method that opens the URL. That's really annoying about Python. And so I got to thinking, I've been meaning all along to use something called the requests library. It's a third-party library along the lines of the Flask Micro framework and other things that I'm using. And I'm not opposed to it. It's going to simplify things, and under requests, you just import the request library, and then it's requests.get, which is kind of in sync with the method that's being used to get the page off the web. There's also request.post, and it's very consistent that way. And it's laden with features like cookie persistence and, acting a little more like a browser, some session stuff, and support for SSL with or without certificate verification. And so it also will allow me to write the code in such a way where it will work with either Python 2.7 or 3, so it will keep my code more highly compatible over time. It's going to be kind of like a compatibility layer. So that's pretty much it. One of my next things I'm going to be doing is just rewriting the Twitter function that I just wrote to switch it over to the request library, and it'll also, I guess, include adding the request library to, the platform. And I guess, oh yeah, I showed a lot about my written journal that lives right now on MikeLevinSEO.com. And when I do stuff while I've had the time, either Code with Mike Fridays, or when I was working as an independent consultant, I wanted to produce videos for almost every significant thing that I did to keep it all well documented. Not doing that anymore. I'll produce videos when I can, when it aligns with my Fridays, but everything else I will document in written journal form on MikeLevinSEO.com, and you can fill in the blanks there. And I also figure that'll be a place to provide running commentary on these videos. I'll embed these videos right into the journal, and you can get a real sense of the chronological order and development of the project. So in about a week or so, I believe I will be revving Levinix to beta 3, and it'll be Levinix and Pipulate, and you'll be able to download it and use it for, well, right off the bat, getting tweet counts on lists of URLs, and not long after, the +1 counts, the share counts, the like counts, and all the other social media stuff, and then the SEO stuff like titles and meta descriptions, and then it'll grow in other ways, like being able to crawl a site and capture tweets, that sort of thing. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you soon, and don't forget to subscribe.